Right, boys, so today we are rating the Golden Boy winners right back from 2003 when it started. So the first player is Rafael van der Vaart. He had a good career. He went to Real Madrid. He played at Tottenham. He played at various other places like Ajax. He got 173 goals and 120 assists. He only won 3 league titles. I believe 2 was the Dutch league and 1 was the Danish league, along with another couple of cups from Spain and Holland. But he had a good career, so I think I'd rate this. I'd give this a 7, a solid 7. Next up, in 2004, the winner was Wayne Rooney, who I think we can all agree had an absolutely fantastic career. He was at his peak, I think, at the beginning when he was young. He was so aggressive, so Bald Rooney is a meme. But Rooney got 313 goals, 170 assists, 5 league titles, a Champions League and a Europa League, along with many other cups. Although he was good for England, he didn't quite win anything like everyone through the golden era, so I'd give this career a 9.2. It's not quite a 10, but it was brilliant. So in 2005, the winner was, of course, Lionel Messi, who has had an absolutely fantastic career. He's got 721 goals, 342 assists, and this is all club goals only off Transfer Market, boys, so no international stats in these. He's got 7 Ballon d'Ors, a World Cup, 4 Champions League, 12 league titles and a Copa America, as well as being the greatest player of all time. So I think we can comfortably say this is a 10. So 2006 was the year of Cesc Fabregas. Absolutely unbelievable player. 125 goals, 217 assists. He won a World Cup, 2 Euros, only 3 league titles. I thought it would have been more considering it was Arsenal, Chelsea and Barcelona. He also won a Europa League, which I'm quite surprised. I thought he would have won a Champions League, but he didn't. But fantastic career. He won most club trophies. He won everything you could win at international level. So only because I think Wayne Rooney was a better player, I'm going to give this career a 9. 2007, the year of Sergio Aguero winning the Golden Boy. He got 385 goals, 119 assists. He won 5 leagues, a Copa America and a Europa League. One of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. So great career, but I would still have Wayne Rooney just slightly above. So I would give this career a 8.9. Let's move on. So 2008 was the year of Felipe Anderson. He had a decent career. He's been very good at times for Lazio. He showed signs at West Ham. Didn't quite make it. Didn't quite justify the fee they paid for him. He got 72 goals, 83 assists. He only won an Italian Super Cup and a Copa Libertadores of note in his career, which isn't great, but he's clearly a really, really talented player. I would give his career rating a 5.5. 2009 was Alexander Pato's year to win the Golden Boy. His career, he got 167 goals and 53 assists, but he's only got 1 Serie A title to show for his career, along with other little cups, but not as big as the Serie A. So I can still remember that goal against Barcelona where he just walked through the defence. And he was an amazing, amazing player with a really short prime. But I think you've got to be fair, and I would have him probably slightly above Felipe Anderson, but I can't give him any more than a 6 because it was such a dramatic drop-off. 2010 was Mario Balotelli's year to win the Golden Boy. He got 199 goals, 43 assists. He won 4 league titles and 1 Champions League. Absolute enigma of a player, a talisman who on his game he was unplayable, but he was so lazy and so frustrating to watch. It was just a nightmare. He was a nightmare. But even though his career wasn't as good as it probably should have been, he still had a great career. He's won a lot of things. So I would give Balotelli a 7.5. 2011 was Mario Götze's year. He got 127 goals, 126 assists. He won the World Cup, which he obviously scored the winning goal in, and he got 5 league titles. Playing for clubs like Dortmund and Bayern Munich, he was really, really good for a point, but again, he had a big drop-off very, very early. But scoring the winning goal, that iconic moment in the final, and obviously winning such titles, and 127 goals and 126 assists is not to be sniffed at. So I would give Mario Götze's career a 8.2 out of 10. He did really well, but he did not fulfill the promise that he showed early. So 2012's winner was Isco, who had 75 goals, 70 assists, 3 league titles, and 5 Champions Leagues. Isco was very, very silky and such a great footballer. But again, I think the 5 Champions Leagues he was carried. He might have had moments where he contributed to it along the way, but I don't think he fulfilled his promise as he should have, although his career is fantastic. So it's one of them where I've got to be fair to what I think of him as a player and how he developed. But he did win a lot of trophies. Like 5 Champions Leagues is not to be sniffed at whatsoever. But I don't think he played a huge part in a lot of them. Although he did have his moments, like I say. So as his career was brilliant, but I don't think as a player he developed to the level he should have. I'm going to give Isco, I'm going to give him a 8. I'm going to give Isco an 8. 2013 was the year of Paul Pogba, who was an absolutely immensely talented midfielder. He is the absolute CEO of On His Day, which I can absolutely get behind because he was phenomenal on his day. When he was paired up with Kante in midfield, when he's playing in Juve with players what suit his style and let him express himself, he was absolutely fantastic. Look at that for a goal there. Jesus. He got 76 goals, 99 assists. He won 4 league titles, all of them coming in Italy, and a Euros. When he played in a team what suited his style, he was phenomenal. Struggled with injuries the last few years, but his career has been outstanding. And I think people will remember him because they can see how techy he was and how talented he was. Probably didn't win as much as he should have because he went to Manchester United at probably the worst possible moment in Man U's recent history. I think Pogba would have fitted in at Real Madrid, Barcelona, everywhere. He was that immensely talented, but he didn't fulfill his promise. So I'm going to give Paul Pogba a 8.4 out of 10. Really, really good career, but wasn't as good as it should have been. 2014 was Raheem Sterling's year when he broke out and won the Golden Boy Award. Brilliant player, 50 million move from Liverpool to Manchester City. At the time, it seemed a lot of money, but he went on to be one of Manchester City's most important players over their best years. 173 goals, 134 assists. He got 4 league titles along the way, an FA Cup and other cups as well. And he started off as Chelsea's best player this year in the Premier League, going back to normal, taking people on, looking absolutely fantastic this season, even though Chelsea have underperformed, or at least not got the results that they should have or wanted. But Raheem Sterling's career, I think, has been brilliant. Very underrated player. I think he's one of the greatest Premier League wingers of all time. I wouldn't have him up there as the top, but I would definitely push him into the top 10 now. He is fantastic. So I would give Raheem Sterling's career a 8.6 out of 10. 2015 was Anthony Martial's year to win the Golden Boy. He's got 104 goals, 62 assists. He's won a Europa League, an FA Cup, and 2 League Cups. But his breakout year at Monaco, Manchester United paid a lot of money for him. He looks absolutely brilliant when he's fit. He dribbles. He reminds me very much a lot like Thierry Henry, just effortless, like composed, but really struggles with injury. And when I compare him to Thierry Henry, I'm not saying he's anywhere near as good, because of course he is not. But you see shades. I can see a similar-ish player in there. Obviously, just not to that good of a degree. But he's really struggled with injuries. He hasn't won nowhere near enough. He's not kicked on. I can't blame him, though. A lot of it is down to injuries, obviously. If you just keep getting injured often, you can't help it. But I would say so far, I would probably give his career, because he has not fulfilled anywhere near the promise that he should have. I would give Martial a 5. I'm sorry, I would give him a 5. 2016 was Renato Sanchez's year, where he starred in Portugal's Euro 2016 triumph. In his career so far, he's got 17 goals, 20 assists, which is very low. I know he's a midfielder, but he should be getting better numbers than that. It isn't all about the numbers, obviously, but that should be better from midfield and the role he plays. So he's won a Euros and he's won 7 league titles, which is a brilliant return for someone. He isn't that old. That is a very good return. Although a lot of it has been at like Bayern Munich, where he's not really played much of a part. Sadly, he's just not been up to it. For how big news he was at the time when he won the Golden Boy and he starred in the Euros, he went on to Swansea, where he was average to below average, to be honest. He's not really kicked on since. He has had the odd few years where I'm sure it was at Lille where he had a great year, but just not consistent enough. So again, I would give him, as he's got time on his side, I would give him more than Martial a rating at the minute, because it may well work out to be fine. But I would give him so far a 6.5 out of 10. 2017 was Kylian Mbappe's year to win the Golden Boy. Absolutely stunning player. I think we can all agree he will definitely go down as one of the greatest strikers. Definitely in our era, he's already one of the greatest strikers, I would say personally. It reminds me so much of R9 and how explosive explosive, how good at dribbling he is, and how good he can finish off both feet, and how composed and cool he is. So he's got 247 goals, 116 assists. He's won 6 league titles already in his career, which is very good. He's still very young, still probably going to move on to Real Madrid as well, so this career will definitely flourish. He's won a World Cup, multiple top scorer awards, multiple cups as well along the way. I think it would only be fair because he's clearly going to be an absolute icon. He's going to be remembered in history. I'm 100% sure of it. But as he's young, I'm going to be fair. And so far, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 just because he has got so many years left in him. I think he will probably go down as a 9.8 or above, maybe even a 10. He could easily have a 2018 as Matthijs de Ligt's year to win the Golden Boy. Absolutely man-mountain of a defender. I think he's one of the best centre-backs in world football right now. 32 goals, 12 assists, which is a pretty good return from centre-back. I'm not going to lie. Still very young. He's won 3 league titles. He's going to win many more as he's playing for Bayern Munich now. Absolute Rolls Royce of a centre-back. Probably the best young centre-back in the world. He's definitely up there, if not the best. Great career so far. Obviously, as we're getting down this list now, these players who win the Golden Boy have still got many more years in their career, so you've got to judge it like differently than the others. But I would say so far, De Ligt has had an 8 out of 10 career. Obviously, there is plenty of room to move up, but so far, so good. So the winner of 2019 Golden Boy was João Felix. 72 goals, 35 assists. He's won 2 leagues. One was in Portugal, one was in Spain with Atletico Madrid, which was a massive, massive title to win, considering they're up against Barcelona and Real Madrid every year. You can clearly see that he's massively talented. 110 mil was a lot of money for someone who only played so many games, but you can see why they paid that, because he is so incredibly talented. Again, he looked like Chelsea's best player most of the games I watched them last season, even though Chelsea were poor. I could see how he would work in a great team, although I feel like his position's being phased out a little bit in football, like the striker role where you drop back in and support. I feel like there isn't that many teams who play that role anymore, but he is extremely talented. He hasn't quite lived up to it so far, and the goal return is probably not the best, but that isn't really his game. But I would say 6 out of 10 so far, because he should be running football now for that massive fee. He's not really kicked on as of yet, but plenty of time to improve, but for now a 6 for me. So 2020 is the year that Erling Braut Haaland won the Golden Boy Award. I think we can all agree Haaland, again, like Mbappe, is going to go on to be one of the greatest strikers of our era. 190 goals already in his career, averaging out at like a goal a game at most clubs he's been at, is absolutely unbelievable for a player of his age. 2 league titles, which I'm sure is going to get more and more because he will stay at Manchester City or move on to a Real Madrid, and he'll win titles there. He'll win titles wherever he goes now, I think. And a Champions League, FA Cup, along with a few other cups along the way. Even though his career is so young, you can tell that he is the real deal. I'm going to give him the same as Mbappe and give him a 9, which is really high for this stage considering he's so early in his career. He's got a Champions League, Mbappe's got a World Cup. It's just finally poised for Ronaldo versus Messi again, but with these two. Absolute brilliant player. Best striker in the world right now, in my opinion. So 2021's Golden Boy winner was Pedri, who of course absolutely oozes class. I think he's a fantastic footballer. We're very early doors into the career though, but he has won the league with Barcelona. He's won 2 cups along the way as well, but that is so far. But he's extremely young, as is the next winner as well. So far, so good for Pedri. Looks brilliant. Barcelona in financial trouble though. They keep obviously worming the way out of it, but I don't know if I can see this progressing too much because Spain aren't at the best really either internationally. But you can clearly see how talented the boy is. But so far, I'm going to give him a 6 because I'm not really overly taken with it, to be honest, with the hype. I don't know. I think it's easy at Barcelona to be the next Xavi and Iniesta. Like, I think time will tell, but I'll give him a 6. Which leaves us to the last person who won the Golden Boy Award, which is Gavi of Barcelona, the second Barcelona player to win in successive years. Again, like Pedri, I think it's the same. It's very early to tell. It's very easy to label. I've seen a lot of people labelled, especially from Barcelona, like the new Xavi, the new Iniesta, and it's not quite been there. 6 goals, 13 assists. Obviously, his career is very, very young. He has won a league title and a cup with Barcelona too. I would give him the same as Pedri so far. I'd give him a 6. The jury's still out. only purely because he has not had long enough in his career to prove to everyone, and that is it. You can clearly tell that he's, again, like Pedri, he's massively talented. We'll see where it goes. There's all the Golden Boy winners since it was introduced. If you did enjoy the video, boys, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, or if you're on TikTok, drop a like and follow me. And until next time, peace.